Size Eyes on the Sky.
It's been a windy couple of days out there. Going to be windy overnight, but calming down tomorrow. I have more about that coming up.
Plus, I have your national forecast. All that and more on this Thursday, March 5th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to Size Eyes. I'm now joined by Sarah.
It's been windy out there, especially tonight.
It sure has.
I didn't expect it coming at all.
Temperatures definitely dipped down a little bit, especially the feels like temperature. I'm sure you'll get into that a little bit.
I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, the wind's coming from the north, so it's not as nice as it was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Not as nice as it's going to be this weekend. Luckily, I think we're going to break into the 60s during that time, so hopefully we have that going for us. But today's highs around the state, right along with average. It was 47 in Ames, a little bit cooler up north, 42 in Mason City. We did reach 50, though, in most of our southern counties in the state. Again, 50 in Creston, 50 in Council Bluffs. So not too bad around the state. Again, right along with average, early March. But headlines for the week, again, going to be a windy evening. Going to stick around with those winds coming out of the north, like I said, helping to cool us down. 60s this weekend, upper 60s on Sunday. Beautiful weather. I'll have more about that coming up. And then we do have a rain chance early next week, but no snow chances in our future cast. And I'll tell you more about that after Jackson.
Thank you, Sarah. And now it's time for tonight's weather story. On this day in 1959, a record-breaking snowstorm on March 4th through 6th began with light snow in western Iowa in the morning of the 4th and spread across the state and intensified with heavy snow falling from the night of the 4th through the 5th and into the early morning of the 6th in eastern Iowa. The amount of snowfall and its subsequent events were less severe in western Iowa and grew progressively worse moving eastward. In central Iowa, snowfall amounts were generally 6 to 10 inches, while in eastern Iowa, a swath of about 12 to 20 inches of snow fell roughly from Appanoose County up to Tama County and northeast Alamaki County. Reports reported from Iowa. Total snowfall amounts included 12.9 inches at Waterloo, 14.5 inches at Decorah, 16.0 inches at Olwyn, and 17.0 at Oskaloosa, 17.6 inches in Dubuque, 19.8 inches in Marshalltown, where 17.8 inches fell just in 24 hours, and 22.0 inches in Fayette, where 21 inches fell in just 24 hours. Wind strengthened steadily during the course of the storm, reaching 30 to 50 miles an hour at times, causing extensive blowing, drifting snow, and drifts 6 to 10 feet deep were common in northeastern Iowa. Few locations reported drifts 15 to 20 feet deep. All transportation. I'm sorry about this. And traffic were halted in stranded cars, in some cases completely covered by drifting snow. Most sorry, I need a minute. Sorry, bring it back. Most were stranded vehicles and abandoned until the storm ended, including an estimated 20,000 vehicles in Des Moines alone, where only 9.4 inches of snow. I'm sorry, I can't read this with everybody laughing around here. I don't know. Businesses and schools were closed across most of the state. In some cases, buses stalled, stranding dozens of children. One farm family near Vinton shattered and fed 63 marooned students until the storm abated. Near Plano, a baby was born, a woman stranded in her vehicle. There were about 19 deaths attributed from the storm and dozens of injuries. And now, I'll give you guys a look at what's going on around the country. Sorry about that very long weather story we had earlier, but we had to get through it to get that information to you folks. As you can see, temperatures are kind of dipping down as those temperatures move in from the north, seeing about 52 degrees here in Kansas City, and those 50s are kind of just sitting around the country as we see, but there is a nice warm up as you go down to the southern parts of the nation, seeing temperatures of 61 over there in Memphis and up in 83 in Phoenix. I'll have a little bit more about the temperatures and the other weather that's going around the nation just in a bit.
back. Now here's Jackson with a look at what's happening around the nation. Jackson?
Thank you, Sarah. As you can see, we just have a few things going on around the country. We have some fire warnings over here sitting in about the Nebraska area. And what you guys might notice from Sarah's forecast later is we do have these high wind warnings over here in the Midwest, as well as down here in portions of Georgia. And then around this area as well, we do see some flood warnings. So just kind of a little bit of a range of things going on right now. As you can see, temperatures are looking kind of good for the beginning of March now. We see them about 52 here in the Midwest, and those 50s are kind of just sitting around here. We do have some colder air kind of coming in, 36 degrees here in Minneapolis, but it does warm up as you go down south to the coastal regions there. Taking a look at the Midwest, we're seeing temperatures of 42 degrees here in Des Moines. Sarah will have a little bit more about that in her Iowa forecast. And the rest of the Midwest is seeing those 40 to 50 degree temperatures with a little bit kind of into the upper 30s as you move to the north. Looking over at the Northeast, we see kind of the same temperatures as the Midwest, in those upper 30s to low 50s as you get around here. I guess these are kind of seen in these high 40s around here, but temperatures are typically sticking in around the 50s until you move a little bit south. Going into the southeast, we see that warm up a little bit in the 50s still over here in Georgia, so we're seeing just not too big of a change in temperatures between here and the coast until you move very far south. We're seeing about 63 degrees here in Jacksonville, and the majority area in Florida is seeing 70 to 80 degree temperatures as they're typically used to, so it's real nice and warm there. Moving over to the southwest, we're seeing about 50 to 70 degree temperatures over here. We're seeing about 84 degrees here in Bakersfield, 65 in Los Angeles, a little bit cooler there as those systems are kind of moving through. And we can see this cold air kind of dipping down, although it doesn't seem to have hit Grand Junction quite yet, still sitting here at 61. That will probably dip down a little bit further as the day progresses. Looking over the northwest, we see temperatures still in around that Midwest area, about 50s, but some areas, especially you get in the high latitudes, seeing about 35 degrees, which is real cold compared to some 68 here in Boise, 45 here in Minnelusa. And those temperatures will continue to bring some of that weather. Now, the reason why we are having these exceptionally warm temperatures is due to this big ridge pattern moving on through the Midwest right now. And those colder temperatures we saw in the Northeast are kind of brought into this by this trough that's bringing down those cold temperatures from the north, and that's going to bring along with them some snow showers as well over the Great Lakes area. I'll have that a little bit more as we move along. As you can see, that flow just kind of moves along, bring those warm temperatures. We will see as we move into the next week, the temperature is going to cool down as this trough does propagate through the nation, but nothing to worry about in the future days coming ahead. Looking at our satellite and radar, we do have this long cold front kind of spanning through most of the country right now. A high pressure system moving over most of the Midwest, which is what you folks tuning in around us will be seeing right now. But there will be some snow showers and some winter weather advisories are actually issued here for these areas around the Great Lakes as we get some of that lake effect snow, bringing some snow into the area, as well as portions of the southeast are seeing some of this rain showers that we moved on with this low pressure system that they have been seeing the last few days. They've been getting rain for, I think it's 4 or 5 continuous days, a lot of those states down there. So they will continue to be seeing a lot more of that rainy weather. Taking a look at our future cast, we see the system over here kind of trying to bring some things in, but as it moves along, we see this winter weather system pushing through the Great Lakes, bringing some stuff there, as well as that system over here to the southeast, bringing some of that kind of precipitation. But the system over here is what I kind of want to look at for a little bit as that moves in. We expect to see this kind of hitting the states over in the next few days, hours, but it kind of tends to trend north. So Canada's going to get a lot of that snow until you move a little bit further. That's going to bring kind of those kind of that snow into a lot of the state or into the nation here, bringing some snow up into Montana and those areas. And that system over here that we were watching earlier is just going to continue to push off into out of the coast and into the water regions. Taking a look at our extended forecast we have for Chicago, Illinois, we have Friday. They're sitting at 40 degrees. It'll be kind of partly cloudy that day. Sunny on Saturday, 52 degrees, a little bit of a warm up, and that warms up again into Sunday at 61 degrees. A little bit of showers, 90% chance on Monday, so they will see some rain of 54 degrees there, keeping things a little bit cool, and that'll cool off again into Tuesday with 47 degrees, 51 on Wednesday, and 49 on Thursday.
Thanks, Jackson. Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. How many tornado reports were there last Monday? Was it A, 5, B, 8, C10, or D11? We'll have that answer coming right up. Now, we'll take a look at the week ahead with me. So to start off again, temperatures around the state right now really just average for this time of the year. 39 in Ames, a little bit cooler up north, and I'll have more about that coming up after your break. Welcome back to Size Eyes. Like I kind of alluded to before, again, those winds coming out of the north really kind of help us cool down. Like I said, it's 37 in Ames right now, but it feels like 26, so we're almost reducing all of our temperatures around the state to about 10 degrees colder than it actually is. Our wind speeds, again, heaviest in or strongest in the middle of the state, 27 here in Ames, 32, and these are just sustained wind speeds. So again, gusts well above 50 miles per hour right now. So keep an eye out. That will be cooling down or calming down overnight, but for the most part, it is going to be a little bit of a hazard for travel here. Our future wind, again, making its way out overnight. So by 4 a.m. on Friday, we're seeing those calm down in the western portion of the state and the central portion. By Friday morning, when you're headed to class or headed on your lunch break, again, pretty calm, 3 here in Ames. Still coming from the north, so helping to keep us cool, but nothing like we saw today. So again, just hang in there a little bit longer. Saturday night, they do pick up again, but not to the speeds that we're seeing right now. So just be aware of that on your travel plans. And if you're heading out on Friday night, it might be a little bit colder than you think. Our active alerts just keeping Ames and Des Moines in this wind advisory that expires at 11 p.m. tonight. So we saw that calm down just around that time. Again, the eastern portion of the state all the way out to Davenport, right along here with Ames and Des Moines, but the western portion already starting to see that calm down. Not going to be too much of a hazard for them. Our satellite and radar not showing much. Again, Jackson talked about this low pressure system sitting in the eastern portion of Wisconsin, bringing a cold front to the northern part of Iowa, trailing in a little bit of flurries and rain out in the eastern portion of the state. But for the most part, just cloud cover coming along with it. Not going to see really hefty amounts of precip or any accumulation with that system. Out here again, we see that second cold front, reasons why our temperatures cooled down over the past couple of days. But again, due to that pressure system, seeing those heavier snowfall totals in Wisconsin, the Minneapolis region, but nothing here for now. Our futurecast, again, seeing those flurries make their way out of the state. Have a beautiful weekend ahead, but I did allude to that rain chance early next week. So on Monday, when you're waking up around 9:30 a.m., we start to see those rain totals accumulate in the southern portion of the state, traveling through the state all day Monday, so we'll probably see some rain here in the Ames and Des Moines area. And then on Tuesday night, we start to see those scattered showers as well. So really seeing those rain chances all the way from Monday into early on Wednesday, but clearing out once again for sunny skies to end your week. Tonight, again, gusts up to 35 miles per hour as we get out of that wind advisory, 28 degrees, sustained winds between 18 and 23. Tonight, again, tomorrow, mostly sunny, beautiful skies, again, 51 degrees. Gonna finally see that sunshine for a change. Excited about that. And just one more reminder that daylight savings does begin this weekend. We're going to spring forward on Sunday. Again, from 2 to 3 a.m. we turn our clocks an hour ahead, so be sure to do that. Don't want to be showing up at places wrong on time or starting off your week. Our extended forecast, again, look at this weekend. Beautiful, 68 degrees on Sunday. Sunny sky is going to help keep us warm. Not seeing much cloud cover with that at all. And Monday and Tuesday, again, hinting back down into the 50s on Tuesdays. We see those rain chances late on Sunday night, overnight, Monday all day, and then Tuesday morning once again with a possible scattered shower on Wednesday. But for the most part, temperatures are well above average and beautiful for this time of the year.
Thank you, Sarah. Now let's take a look at that trivia question one more time. How many tornado reports were there last Monday? Is it A5, B8, C10, or D11?
What do you think it is, Jackson?
Well, I know there's quite a few. I'm going to go with 8 just because for some reason my mind keeps on thinking it's 8. But it could be any of the top 3. I don't believe it's 5.
I don't think it's 5 either. I'm going to go with 10.
Okay.
I thought it was 9. So
I thought it was 9 too.
awkwardly, that's not an option. So I'm going to go one more because
Yeah.
there might have been another late report.
So
or
we're
something.
covering our
We're covering our
grounds here.
bases. If it's ARD, we did not get that right, but
Yep.
let's look at the answer.
Let's take a look at that answer here.
No, we're not.
It was 11. Okay, so we
Yikes.
were on
We
the
were
right
close.
track.
We were close. That
but-
was a ton, though. They're still recovering from all that in the Nashville area, which it's crazy. Tornadoes can go through cities, and they can go over a river. It crossed a river, or a couple of them did.
Yeah, there's
So-
some houses that were even completely destroyed by
Yeah.
those. So we're still waiting to get those reports back to see what the total damage was, but really not a good situation for those folks down there.
But for the most part, not seeing any severe weather around the nation for
Quite
the next
yet,
couple
yeah.
of days.
There will be a little bit
Not
more
there
kicking
yet.
in as we get into those spring times, but
Right.
that's about it.
Right.
Anyways, that concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on our YouTube channel under Size Eyes on the Size channel. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on Tuesday.